And now more of our continuing coverage of the coronavirus issue, and we're joined from the East Riding of Yorkshire Council as John Skidmore, the Adult Services Director. Welcome back, and I hope you're safe, John.
Yeah, I'm safe and well, thank you, and let's hope most of our residents and your listeners are safe and well in this very tough time.
Absolutely. So, again, we're getting more and more into the heart of this, supporting local people. You're doing it your way, we're doing it our way as well, of course. And, of course, social care, carers, the whole of that. How is it, from your angle, how is it going at the moment?
Well, the staff are working in residential care, home care, and that's people going to people's houses, unpaid carers and people who are supporting the community response and Lifeline and do an amazing job. The workforce have been absolutely superb. The engagement with the 140 residential care homes across the East Riding, the 40 or so home care providers that we work with, again, have been amazing. We've had regular dialogue with them, and they are really doing fantastic support loved ones across the East Riding. And I don't forget the unpaid carers and people who are supporting loved ones. Again, I pay tribute to each and every one of them. So people have stepped up fantastically. It's very tough. It's very challenging. It's a very worrying time for them. People are anxious, particularly around personal protective equipment and supporting them and risks to them in terms of supporting loved ones. And we've been providing clear information and advice, supporting them where they need personal protective equipment, because as companies they buy their own, but where their supplies have been difficult, we've been working with them and responding very, very quickly within 24 hours. So we've provided hundreds of thousands of pieces of PPE over the last couple of weeks, and that's continuing. So, people are working incredibly hard. We've faced some challenges, but we're working through them together to support the vulnerable people across the East Riding at this anxious and worrying time. And that also includes people with a learning disability, people who have got challenging behaviours, and we recognise that both in the family setting, but also in terms of respite provision for those loved ones as well. So it's tough for many, John, but what I would say, I'm really proud of everybody working together, working through what is a challenging and tough time, and we feel. My leadership team, we're in as good a place as we can. We've planned hard, we're working hard, the teams are all working hard, round the clock, 7 days a week. But as I say, we're coming together and supporting everybody in the East Riding, and I'm proud of everybody that I've mentioned so far.
These are urgent times as well, aren't they? We spoke the other day about a recruitment campaign that you've begun. What kind of a response have you had to that? Yeah,
really important. And it's been a great launch in terms of Choose Care East Riding. We've had over 60 applications so far. We've got some people into work already through the induction and training that we've offered, so that's ongoing. We're getting more applications every day, and that's paid work for being a carer. Supporting residential care and home care, a support worker, etc. You don't need any pre-qualifications. You need to be kind, considerate, have a caring attitude, respect people, and you'll get induction and training, that's both a short-term opportunity in terms of a casual work or a fixed-term contract, but also the potential for a longer-term permanent solution as well. So this is not voluntary work. So I've had a good response to that. We've also had a good response from some of our residential care and home care providers where they've been recruited, and we've had some feedback that's been positive as well. So, we do still need people to step forward. We do need people to support the East Riding campaign, which is really, really important, as you say. But we've had a good response so far. People have stepped forward, and I'm hoping more come forward over the coming days and weeks ahead at choosecareeastriding.co.uk.
And it is an urgent appeal still, isn't it? Because you're processing people, but, as the days and the weeks go by, and we don't know how, at this point at least, we don't know how long this is likely to go on for, that extra help and support is going to become more vital than it even is now.
It is indeed, because you only need to have a significant increase in the number of people self-isolating who are not available to care for loved ones or pick a care call up. That's why we need that resilience and support, because it could be, your loved one, my loved one, everybody's that your listeners could be their grandma, their auntie, their relation, and they need care. And so we've all got to think about that. We might not need care for your family today, but one day you will. And so my message is that if you've got you are interested, you are kind, considerate, caring, respect other people, we need you at this time to that great resilience across the East Riding, because it's really important that we're able to pick up the care calls and support residential care around the clock.
Now, Easter is here, and normally it's a 4-day long bank holiday weekend for everyone. It's just another day in this coronavirus that we're all getting anxious about, and we're not allowed to go out and about. You can do your daily exercise, but we don't want anybody driving anywhere. And your team have come up with a terrific idea, a terrific destination that will keep everybody of all ages interested. I'm talking about the Active East Riding website, John.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago I set the team a challenge of, the Prime Minister announced the lockdown. That's really tough on everybody. And about what can we do for people. So I set them a challenge of things to do and come up with some ideas and opportunities to prompt people. Whilst there were things on Facebook and people were sharing things as well, I challenge our team to come up with some opportunities, and they've clearly risen to the challenges I expected them to do. They're absolutely fantastic. Come up with some tips and things to do, because it's tough for people. It's really, really tough when you've got a family, children. You live alone. You may be living in a flat apartment, a small house. You may have a yard. You may have a garden. You may not. And it's how we can just get that message across around that daily routine, thinking about things you can do so that you've got a positive mental health and well-being, which is really important. So the top tips that we've launched and are available on the website are really there to support people at a really tough time, and we understand that, and that's why we're working incredibly hard to do everything we can to support people, working with my health and care chief officers across the system, where we're working really, really well together. We're clearly supporting the huge thousands of workforce, their own mental health and well-being, who are either working in the NHS, police, fire, local authority services. Again, it's tough on everybody. We need them to keep going, as well as our bin men and our frontline staff and delivery drivers and people who are delivering PPE, etc. So, people are having to come out to work. They're anxious and worried, and we're doing everything we can to support and working incredibly well together to do the right thing, to support everybody across the East Riding. That's whether it's residents in Bridlington facing the Scarborough Hospital and the Scarborough system, or Pocklington and Driffield facing both Scarborough but also York, and at Goole facing Scunthorpe and Goole, around our Goole area, as well as Central, Hull, Alton, Price and Withensea. So, we're really working hard with our partners across all those acute hospitals and systems, and it's important we don't forget our staff, as well as our residents, who are really important, as well as our general population, because it's tough for everybody, John, as you'll appreciate. It's, we never expected to see anything like this, and we've got to rise to the challenge and do everything we can to support people at this really, really tough time.
I think you and all your teams at the East Riding Yorkshire Council, I think everyone everywhere is stepping up and really responding well to the challenge of it all. And I just wish you a very happy Easter, John. Thanks for talking to us again, to you and all your teams as well. And make the most of the Easter weekend as best you can. And visit that Active East Riding website. Lots of diversions on there to make your Easter a little bit different, at least over the next few days.
Indeed, thanks, John, and let's not forget them volunteers in villages and towns across the East Riding who've stepped forward. They're doing an amazing job working with their local communities, supporting people as well. I forgot to mention them, and they're unsung heroes as well. We're not forgetting them as well.
Fantastic. Thanks for talking to us again, John, and stay safe.
Thank you. Cheers, John.